over, showed you over and over and over and over. You know how irritating they get to a parent? It's the same thing with the king. See, you keep running asking about these relationships, asking about these guys, asking about these cycles. He done already, how many times you done said, oh, he taught me this time, oh, he showed me this time. And then you go back and you do the exact same thing, and now you praying about the exact same thing again. You don't pass the test. You keep failing the same test over and over, and he done gave you the answers over and over. Do you know how irritating it is? How many videos you done seen on the internet where they trying to teach their child something, and the parent gets so irritated with the child because you supposed to know this. That's how it be. You praying about a relationship that you know you ain't got no business in. You know that girl or that woman. You know that woman or that man ain't fit for you. You want the Most High to change so many things about this person that it's just not going to change. It's just not, you incompatible, but you want what you want. You know why? Because the flesh is weak. The spirit is willing though. See, your flesh weak, you want what you want. So you just overlook what it is that the Most High done showed you. He done gave you confirmation after confirmation after confirmation. A lot of people just don't like to take accountability and be held responsible for their action. You chose that. It had nothing to do with the king. You know what I mean? It was this girl I was cool with about a year ago. I watched her meet a man. I watched all her posts talk about she can't wait to have a husband. She can't wait to get married. She can't wait to start a family. This and that and this and that. She ran into a dude, right? She met this dude. He was in the word just like her. She ended up marrying this dude within about 3 or 4 months. They hit it off. All of these pictures I'm talking about look like it was a 5 marriage. They wasn't married 365 days. They got a divorce. See, when stuff like that happen, you wonder why people start. Listen, it's like a stumbling block to an extent. When you overlook what the Most High telling you not to do, and then you eventually have to come back, and then you have to play. You have to do damage control. It's too many people in the church doing damage control, coming around and calling it a lesson when you was disobedient. It's too many people turn around and doing damage control, and then you don't understand why people got false hope. Because you was the one who was talking about praying and being married. Then this man came and then you told everybody that the Most High sent you your husband. You said y'all waited until y'all got married. Y'all followed every step that y'all was supposed to take. And then y'all got married, had a beautiful ceremony. 365 days later, you saying that ain't who the king sent for you. He's saying the same thing. So the question becomes, who was you hearing from when you first married him? Who was you hearing from when y'all first met each other? When y'all said that the king did a matchmaker for y'all? Who was you hearing from when you said you fast and prayed about that man, or you fast and prayed about that woman? And then you turn around and you do damage control. And then you know what you do? You teach other people in the church how to do damage control. You tell them folks that you were disobedient. Tell them folks you wanted what you wanted. Tell them folks, you just made the move. Your flesh was weak. The spirit wasn't willing. You didn't listen to the king. Because if you listen to the king, how you get married and y'all ain't together 12 months? Huh? It's a lot of people who fall into these snares the same way. You turn around and say, well, I learned. Now listen to me. The scripture do say, all things work together for the good. The Most High had to come around and clean that. But he never told you to do it. He never said it was for you. Can you turn it into a lesson and it work out for the good for you? 9 times out of 10. But you know what most people do? They turn around and do it again. It worked out for you. You realize next time I need to make sure I'm really hearing from him. Guess what you do next time? You find another person and say, oh, I heard from him. Same mistake again. You ain't heard nothing. Do you know what he sound like? What he sound like? Cause let me know, because the voice you've been hearing been misleading you. The voice you've been hearing, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? And let me tell y'all something, man. Listen, I'm a believer, man. I believe that Yeshua, who we know as Jesus the Christ, was stretched wide. You know what I'm saying? I believe he was pierced in his side. There was a prophet. It was prophetic that the Messiah was going to be pierced into his side, and he was going. You know what I'm saying? All of that was prophetic. It was prophetic that what no bones on his body was going to be broken. It's prophetic. They spoke about it in Psalms. And when he hung on the cross, if you pay attention to the scripture, a lot of people when they giving the scripture and they talking about this, is way more important than most people really put it in the context of. When they sit you up there and they crucify you like that, when they break the legs on you, that's to make sure that it is over with. You know what I'm saying? So when they broke the legs on the people who was on the side and they getting ready to break his legs, they told him not to do it. It was prophetic, because the king's legs was not supposed to be broken. So when they take him down off the cross, and then the rich man, I can't remember his name, they put him in his tomb. That was prophetic as well. But let me tell you something. Even when we can quote the scripture, understand the word, it could be times you can hear from the king. John the Baptist heard from the king. John the Baptist, the same person, when they touched in the belly leap, and then when he told them, you know what I'm saying, it's one who gonna come whose shoes I'm not fit to wear. He's not gonna baptize in water. He gonna baptize in fire. Then when he go on to baptize the king, what did he say? He said he heard the voice of the Most High say, "That is my beloved son, in whom I'm well pleased." Listen what I'm gonna tell you. John the Baptist heard the Most High say, "This is my beloved son, in whom I'm well." He heard it audible. He audibly heard the voice of the king, of the Most High. He turned around and get put in a situation. Listen what I'm going to tell you. John the Baptist turned around and get put in a situation because he spoke the truth. And we'll come back and revisit that. When he spoke the truth, they locked him up and they was going to behead him. When they was getting ready to behead John the Baptist, who heard the king for a fact, he heard the voice of the Most High. Guaranteed. When they put him in there and they was getting ready to behead him, what did he say? He said, "Man, y'all go and ask him, is he the one or should I look for another?" The minute he said that, he was in a situation where he knew he was about to be executed. He himself started to doubt what he had heard. And you think you can't make a mistake? It ain't too many that, listen to me, we don't hear it like John the Baptist did. That's why he told Doubting Thomas, he said, "Blessed are you who believe because you see. But even more blessed is those who believe who have not seen." Do you know how hard it is as a believer to live the life you live, experience the things you experience, see the things you see, go through the betrayal that you go through, feel the pains that you feel, and not understand and not know if you actually are being heard? Not only not know if you being heard, but don't know what it sounds like when he's speaking to you. It's a lot of people walking out here who but you can't see. You know why you can't see? Because of your hurt. Hurt keep you from seeing. It keep you from believing. That hurt we experience. Why would I seek? I went through it. Still go through it. You know how many times I have to remind myself? Do you know how many times I have to remind myself? I have to say, "Dude, you got molested when you was 8 or 9 years old." I have to go through my testimony like that to remind myself of who I'm connected to. Because I'm gonna tell you something about that enemy. He'll trick you out of your inheritance with the Most High. You know how many times I had to tell myself, "Dude, you was molested at 8 or 9 years old, in and out of juvenile, 15 all the way up to 18. Slept with all them people, slept with all them women, never had a disease, went to jail, got out of jail, went to prison. While you was in prison, then said with your brother, Leave out of the cell with your brother after you go home. Be in the cell with your daddy. Leave out of the cell with your daddy. Go to another prison. When you go to another prison, your uncle there, your daddy brother. After you get out of that prison, you get moved to the worst prison in the state. Do you know, I done seen people get stabbed. I seen people get jumped on. Seen people get beat. You know what I'm saying? I was taking 23 psychotropic meds at one point. I'm taking 23 psychotropic meds at one point a day. Certain amount in the morning, certain amount in the evening, certain amount at night. Do you know how many times I have to replay? Listen to me. Do you know how many times I had to replay in my head? He had to hear me. He had to hear me. Because if he didn't hear me, it was moments when I knew he heard me. And then something happened in my life and I questioned it. Same way with John the Baptist. John the Baptist knew he heard it. Something happened tragic and it made him question. But see, that's the tactic of the enemy. The enemy is most definitely a no. You got a little faith. Because what did he tell you to have? A mustard seed. He said have a mustard seed. And that's what the enemy wants. The enemy wants the mustard seed. He said, oh, you got a little mustard seed. I need something tragic to happen in your life. Maybe if you can't pay your bills, it'll shake you up a little bit because you know you got them kids, you got to keep a roof over the house. Maybe that man or that woman that you really in love with, you know what I'm saying? If I separate that, to do this and do that to you, if you have a little car wreck, he don't got to do nothing but attack that little mustard seed. By the time he attack that little mustard seed, guess what happened? That doubt seek in. And then listen, when you can't pay your bills or you can't do this or you can't move the way you want to, guess what happened? Fear sink in. Fear gonna kill everything. That's why he said, I didn't give you a spirit of fear, but a power, love, and a sound mind. If he can attack that mustard seed, it's over with for you. It's over with, because he said that's all you need. If you can hear, start moving on it. Listen, I done it. He told me to write the book. Let me give you the testimony. I go up for parole for the third time. The man tell me to do the remainder of my balance. I got like 17, 18 months left in prison. I'm ready to go home. I've been gone 7.5 at the time. 8.5. I've been gone 8.5 at the time. I go up for parole thinking I'm finna go home. This man tell me to do the rest of it. Then when they tell me to do the rest of it, I go in the cell and sit in there for 3 days because I was heartbroken. You know why? Because I had been going to church. I had been reading my word. I had been studying. I had been praying. I had been doing, listen to me, but I still remember what I heard. But when I heard this man say, do the remainder of the ballot, it crushed me. Get what I told him? I said, man, I'm going to write a book. I wrote my first book. When I wrote the first book, I knew what he told me. Keep writing. I ended up writing. I wrote my second book. After I wrote the second book, I ended up writing another. I wrote 3. I wrote 3 within a period, within probably a year's time in prison. When I wrote the book, listen to me, then I started questioning, okay, what I'm going to do now? What's next? A lot of times you can't see the what's next. And that discourages a lot of people. It started with an idea. It started with a thought. When you get the thought, you gotta manifest the thought and bring it into it. You gotta manifest the thought, bring it into fruition. When you bring the thought, when you start writing, he said write it down. He said write the vision, make it plain. You can write the vision and make it plain, and then you can make the move. You get ready to make the move and do something that you have never done. Not only you finna do something you ain't never done. Listen to me. You about to do something you ain't never seen nobody in your family do. You ain't never seen none of your friends. You ain't seen none of your friends do it. You don't know nobody in your community who doing it. So then at that point, guess what you say? Who do I call? Who do I ask for advice? What are my resources? Listen to what I'm telling you, because that is a way for the enemy to attack that mustard seed that you got sitting in your spirit. By the time you start asking, well, how I'm gonna do that? How I'm gonna do this? How I'm gonna do that? If the Most High gave you step 1, he gonna get you all the way to step 10. You just gotta keep on seeking and asking. So I'm finna write a book. I don't know nothing about how I'm finna market this, how I'm finna sell it, I don't know nothing about that. Let me tell you something though. So after I wrote it, I ran across this dude on Facebook because I had a phone. I had a phone in the penitentiary then. When I see this dude, guess what he was doing? He was traveling around the country. God rest his soul. Keith Bell, man. Listen to me. Great dude. When I saw him, I said, man, that's what I want to do right there. I inboxed the man. The man inboxed me back and told me, hey, check this out. The only thing you got to do, call the leasing office at the mall, tell them what you're trying to do, get you a contract, whether it be 30 days or a weekend. This is what it's going to cost. Boom, boom, boom. You going to get the contract. Boom, boom. You go in there and set up. Get what? The Most High done showed me. That's how you can do it. But look, At this point, I've been locked up about 8 years. So guess what the enemy do to try to attack that mustard seed? You ain't gonna be able to do that. You've been locked up 8 years. You know what I'm saying? Your social skills, you're gonna be a little institutionalized. Them folk gonna know you been to prison. What you look like getting out there doing this and doing that? What make you think people gonna buy a book from somebody that did 10 years in prison and then what you went to prison for? You ain't this. Then he trying to kill that mustard seed. Then you ain't gonna kill that. You ain't gonna kill that. You ain't gonna kill that mustard seed. Then look, check this out. I'm gonna tell you something else. So then I'm thinking, dang, like how I'm really gonna do it? I had a little money on my books. I ended up buying 44 copies of my first book. I ordered them in the wrong size of the print, on the wrong size print. I ended up blowing some money. So now I'm worried about how I'm finna get some more books. Get what? Most High ended up blessing me. I ordered 44 copies, sent them home to my mama. I'm sitting in a sale, homie. I'm sitting in a sale when this happened. I got like a year left. My mama sold 44 books in probably less than a week. When she sold the books, I called home. I'm selling books $20 a pop. It's 44 copies, $20 a pop. You do the math. I'm sitting in prison. 44 books at $20 a pop. Somebody do the math. How much is that? Huh? Do the math. I need somebody to put it in there for me before because I know what it is. What's 20 times 44? $880. Listen, did you hear what I said? My mama sold 44 books in less than a week. Most people ain't even making that on their job. I sold 44 books in less than a week. I couldn't even do it myself. My mama done it less than a week. Most people ain't doing that on their job. Guess what? All I know all my life is selling dope, taking from folks. That's all I knew. I ain't worried about no tax at this point. I'm not worried about no tax. I'm not worried about no business. What I'm worried about seeing is the Most High move and show me a different way of how I can make money. That's all that mattered to me. Only thing I cared about is what am I going to do different when I get out of prison? I needed to birth something in me. So by the time I said 880, you know what I told my mom? Take half of it and give it to the church. Because at that point, my faith had already went out the roof. I done got in touch with somebody who told me how I could sell the books at the mall when I get out. Then on top of that, my mama done sold 44 books and I ain't even home. Get what I said to myself? If my mama can sell 44 books and I ain't even there physically, I said by the time I get home, I said I'll sell $1 million. I've been home 5.5 years. In the last 3 years, I've sold over 10,000. Listen to me. But the enemy tried to kill that mustard seed when I was sitting in the prison. When I was sitting in that cell, he tried to kill it, telling me I ain't gonna be able to do this and I ain't gonna be able to do that. Listen to me. I wasn't out 30 days. I was selling books. I could show you pictures in my phone. I wasn't out 30 days and started selling books. Now, let me tell you something though. Let me tell you something. Because the Most High also taught me stewardship. It ain't about them. It ain't just about the money. It's what you learn when it comes to being a child of the King. Now, I didn't know nothing about business. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because when you a dope boy, what you do is you go re-up, you get your money, and you make money so fast, you're not even really tripping on what you spending, what you put in. You don't understand, you don't make no profit until you cover your expenses. See, I didn't understand that. See, I'm getting out and I'm just selling books and I'm doing this and I'm doing that and I'm doing this. And then I'm realizing, hold on, the money ain't adding up the same way. What I'm seeing on paper, by the time I count it, I'm a little short. It's not adding up because I can't move the same way I was moving in the street. That was also a part of the kingdom. Part of, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And the part of stewardship when it comes, because let me tell you something. If to whom much is given, much is required. So if you move in a certain type of way and it's not adding up and you don't eventually get it, what makes you think that the Most High gonna be able to give you something major? You just gonna run through it. It's gonna be like water running through your hand. So I realized that a very short period of time, you better get that together. you better get that together. So then I started moving different. This is before TikTok, before I was doing story time. What I'm telling you right now, I wasn't even doing story time. I was just going to malls. I wasn't sharing my story on no social media. Only thing I was doing then was giving the word. So it was all still a process. So by the time I'm going to these malls, listen to what I'm telling you. Even though I was making money enough to pay for my bills, it was almost like a person who living check to check. I'm making enough money to take care of everything, but I'm never really seeing none. You know why? Because the mall was costing me a certain amount of money. The hotel costing me a certain amount of money. The gas is costing me a certain amount of money. So at this point, I'm seeing how I can do it, how I can maneuver. But at this point, it's like, okay, I need to start selling more. I'm finna tell you, I need to start selling more to cover, you know what I'm saying, to cover these expenses for everything else. So what do? I ain't tripping. I humble myself. I go get a job. When I got a job, save up a little money, you know what I'm saying, where I can get ahead, you know what I'm saying, did it like that, and then get what happened. This ain't working. Let me tell you about the enemy, because y'all know I'm going to shoot it straight. This ain't working fast. It ain't moving fast enough. It ain't working. We all done been through it. Get what I did? Jumped in the streets. Jumped in the streets and lied, let the enemy deceive me, and told myself, I'm going to just jump in the streets. I'm going to sell a little dope. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get up. You know what I'm saying? And then when I get up, you know what I'm saying? Boom. I'm going to jump back in. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to do what I need to do with the books and move around and this and that. But see, that's not giving people the hope that they need. So when I jump back in the streets, by the time I'm making that kind of money, guess what? I never got back to the journey. Because by the time I start making $10,000 a week, guess what? Forget the journey. We need the money. You know what I'm saying? You already know how it go. Forget the journey. I want the bread. So by the time I'm doing that, I realized by the time I did get convicted, I realized it was one day I was going to see my plug, right? So when I'm leaving the drive, I'm leaving from going to see my plug. Get what I told the Most High. True story. I told the Most High, I said, man, I said, you're going to have to remove this because at this point, I'm too deep in to drag myself out. At this point, I'm in too deep to drag myself out. I most definitely can't do it on my own strength. I'm in love with the money at this point. I'm not in love with the game no more. I'm in love with being financially free. I said, you're going to have to pull me out. If you don't pull me out, I'm not leaving. So guess what happened? True story. Everybody that I was serving and dealing with disappeared within that same week. True story. Everybody left. Guess what? You got that. You got that. And then guess what? My cousin asked me, like, what you finna do with the money? I said, I ain't using none of this money for ministry. I can't. True story. Told my plug the same thing. He said, do what you need to do with the money. I said, I can't use none of this money for ministry. I said, I'd be giving false hope. I'd be lying to everybody. I said, if I just pop up and I start looking like, and lie to these people and say, the Most High bless me and knowing for a fact I'm using dope money to fund this, I said, that ain't no blessing. I said, that's deception. I said, I ain't gonna do that. That ain't what's going on with me. So I blew through the money. Now, don't ask me, did I give it away? No, I didn't give it away. I spent it. I didn't use it on ministry though. I just spend money. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna use it on ministry. So look, check this out. So at this point, you know what I'm saying, my relationship getting ready to end. This is a true story. Relationship getting ready to end. I moved back home to Springfield. When I moved back home to Springfield, I went and got a job at this place called Doorman. When I get to Doorman, I'm making about $1,200 a week. I'm making $1,200 a week. I'm staying with my sister at the time, but she ain't making me pay no extreme bills. And I think I had the light bill or whatever that was, because I'm trying to get back straight. Why? Somebody asked me, how did I end up on TikTok? At this point, I've been home 3.5, 4 years. I ain't did no story time, not damn time. I'm at this job and this girl she said, you need to get on TikTok. I said, man, I ain't get on no TikTok. I ain't dancing on TikTok. She said, I'm telling you, you need to get on there and tell your story. We still talking about that little mustard seed. I said, man, I'm not getting on TikTok. The third time she tell me that, she said, just download it. Just download it. So I download the app. I get to strolling through it. I'm looking at it. I'm walking through work. She see me again. She said, you get on there yet? I said, I'm going to do it tonight. She said, all right. So I started posting on there. 2-3 days went by. I ain't posting no story time though. I'm just posting little videos. So I said, you know what? I seen how to work the green screen. If you go through my TikTok, you will see I only know how to do one thing. I ain't never did no trending sounds. I ain't never did nothing but one thing on TikTok. I put that picture in the background and I talk. That's it. Or it'll just be me and I say something. That's it. That's the only thing I know how to do on TikTok. I don't need to know how to do everything else. So I said, man, let me try this green screen and tell this escape story. So I get on TikTok. If you're familiar with this picture, I put this picture in the background. I put this picture on the background. I just checked on about a week or two ago. I sent her a message. I always let her know I appreciate it. I sent her a message and let her know, you know what I'm saying, I appreciate her. And I put that picture in the background, and I got on there and I told the escape story. Let me tell you something about how the Most High works. When I told the escape story, the police was chasing the police came by. And when the police came by, the sirens was on. So it sounded like the police was in the background while I was telling the escape story. I woke up in the morning and had 500,000 views on that escape story, part 1. It was just a 60-second clip of me talking, part 1 of the escape story. When I woke up and looked, I said, wait a minute. Never did a story time. I said, interesting. Okay, so boom, part 2, I escaped jail. I'm free. I did part 2, did the same thing, 300,000 views. Part 4, it just started shooting up. So then I started saying, if you want to hear the rest of the story, link is in the bio. Go get the book. When I started doing that, I sold like 500 or 600 books in like a week. When that happened, let me tell you something. I just got a little emotional because I'm going to tell you something, man. I've turned my back. I ain't going to say I've turned my back. I've gotten disobedient so many times because I felt like the king wasn't going to make a move for me. I felt like it just wasn't working. Like I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do it right this way, trying to do it right that way. It's not working. So over time, and then TikTok, boom, I started 500 or 600 books in a week. So when that happened, I was like, what? I kept doing it. I'm a year and a half, I'm like 2 years. I'm like 2 years in right now. And I'm still going, still growing. That mustard seed that was attacked all of them times, only thing I had to do is keep watering it. See, so many of us, we don't understand the process of patience. See, it's a process to it. That I had never had to be patient because my money always came like this. You see, even though I know he was gonna give it to me, he already saw it. He saw it. In 2020, I'm gonna bless you. But from 2017 to 2020, I need you to learn some things about when it comes to me. I need you to learn some things when it comes to patience. I need you to learn some things when it comes to self-control. I need you to learn some things about stewardship. I need you to learn this. I need you to learn that. I need you to learn some things about business. I need you to learn how to manage your money. I need you to go get this. I need you. It was being watered. It was being watered the whole time. It just took for it to get to a certain place before it. And then by the time it hit, I was like, my TikTok account, and then that TikTok account got banned. I went to, that TikTok account got banned. I only had it for like 3 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, about a month or something like that. It got banned. I went from like 5,600 followers to like 54,000 overnight. And and then I started this new page, which I got like 4 of them now. But it's just over time, like I've watched it grow. And I still have time. Let me be honest. Like, I still have moments where it's like, is you still there? Like, even as I'm talking right now, a lot of us don't have room to even ask him that no more. But we human. We don't have room to ask, is he there? Because we done seen it so many times. I ain't with that cliche stuff. He ain't always there when you need him, but he always on time. He there every day, all day. It's just we don't enjoy the process of it. We want something and not understanding what it is he trying to get in you so you can maintain it. See, that's what most people's problem is. You want what you want. You don't want to learn the process of how to keep it. And you wonder why it just keep falling apart. You want the relationship, but you don't want to feel the thing. You don't want to make the compromises, learn how to sacrifice, learn how to do this, learn how to do that, so you can keep the relationship. You want the relationship knowing you still carrying baggage. You want the relationship knowing that you still damaged. You want the relationship knowing you still toxic. You want the relationship knowing you ain't over the last person. You want the relationship knowing you still carrying mommy and daddy issues and you ain't there yet. You ain't there, you ain't gonna be able to maintain it when it get to you. It's the same thing with everything else. You go to job after job after job after job. You know why? You want to make extra money, but you don't want to sit and learn how to manage your money where you at. So when he give you the money, you don't run through it. People feel like, oh, I go get a new job making more money, but you still got bad spending habits. Them folk were paying you $10 and something, and you was already check to check, and you thought, oh, that wasn't enough money. No, you'll get your money before you pay your bills. You'll go out to eat, try to keep up with your friend. You might need to learn the process of what you need to do with your money. Do you know I had to sit in prison and learn how to do that my last 2 years because I wasn't selling dope no more. I didn't have no officer bringing me nothing. So the money that I had on my books, I couldn't spend $75 a week. I had to spend 25. The weeks I couldn't spend 25, I had to spend 15. I had to run it like that because then I got to learn how to use my money different. You making the money, but guess what? To whom much is given, much is required. You're going to go get the extra money, and guess what you're going to do? You're going to go get a new car when the car that you got was already running well. You're going to go and get new furniture when the furniture that you got, it was still what it needed to be. You're going to go and get a bigger TV, and guess what? You're going to watch the same stuff. It's just on a larger screen. You want to do all of these things, and you don't want to go through the process to learn how to maintain what it is he's trying to give you. And see, that's what I had to go through. I had to go through all of this process to learn how to maintain it, even when it comes to my friendships and the people that's surrounded by me. I had to learn the process of elimination, because you want to hold on to people who ain't gonna do nothing but help you squander it. They don't know nothing about managing. They don't care nothing about business. They don't care nothing about generational wealth. They don't care nothing about having a good life and understand how to be patient. You want to keep them people around you. Them people gonna keep crashing you out. Get what? It's a lot of people who done leveled up in their life, and the people that they connected to finna take them right back down to where they was at. You got to let people go. All of it's a process so you can maintain the blessing. People never get to maintain and keep the blessing because they don't enjoy the process of how to maintain it. That's just what it is, man. And it's a blessing to understand it and get it. Because if you listen, when you don't get it, you're going to keep going before the throne, asking the same stuff you was asking a year ago, answering with the same problems you had 2 years ago, with the same frustration that you had 3 years ago, with the same confusion that you had 4 years ago. It's 5 years in, he's sitting here telling you, you don't want to embrace the process to maintain it. You just want to keep going. 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 You just got out of a relationship. What makes you think you're ready for one? I just want to be in love. You're going to jack that one off too. Get what the enemy going to do. The enemy going to add to your trauma. The enemy going to add to your trust issues. The enemy going to add to your anxiety. He going to add to your communication skills. He going to add to that broken heart. He going to add, because you don't want to enjoy the process to let the heart heal so you can receive it. Because then you're going to stop picking the wrong people. Yeah, you're going to stop picking the wrong people when you get it. Man, I'm telling you, listen to me, man. My journey has been a process. It's a difference between chastisement is not a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a little spank, but it's a spank it's gonna keep just trying to get you where you need to go, trying to get you to see what it is that you need to see. You know what I'm saying? So you can have what it is that you supposed to have. Do you know how heavy your inheritance is? Go read it in the scripture. I think it's in Corinthians. Or either Ephesians, in the beginning of Ephesians. Go read about your inheritance and who you are, the dominion you have on this earth, the power you have in your spirit. And then look at your circumstances, look at your friends, look at your finances, and ask yourself, are you connected to the king? Because I'm gonna tell you something. If you pay attention to the people, I'm gonna put it on there. If you pay attention to the people in the Bible that the Most High carried, them folks didn't struggle. Folks wasn't in poverty for years after years after years. Them folks wasn't broken years after years after, until they was disobedient. When them folks was doing what they was supposed to be doing and moving how they was supposed to be, them folks was wealthy. Now, and I don't believe in prosperity preaching at all. I believe in grace. I believe in truth. I believe in conviction. I believe in holiness. I believe in repentance. I believe in the king. But see, people don't understand that he don't. You think he wants you broke? No. You think he wants you broken? No. He said he made you in his image. Did he not? If he made you in his image, what did he give you? He gave you personality. He gave you character. He gave you management skills. He gave you all of that. And if he gave you that, why are you sitting and living the way that you living? Why you holding on to stuff that you know you should have been let go of? Why you letting your emotions cloud your judgment? Because I'm going to tell you something. Any person who think that they can shed a tear, I ain't saying that he don't see your tears. If you think you can shed a tear out of emotion and make the Most High move and do something that was not in his will, he will not do it. Why you letting people do it to you? You let your emotions drive you, make decisions that you know you ain't got no business making. Stay cool with people that you ain't got no business staying cool with. I didn't say don't forgive them. I just said you ain't got to be reconciled to them because you can heal up and that person don't. That's something I learned. Now, I'm at where I'm at for sure. But I forgave you, but me and you, we can't reconcile. You know why? Because you don't care to heal. You don't care to move different. Your heart's still hard and callous. You ain't got that love in you yet. You ain't got that peace in you yet. You ain't got that self-control in you yet. You ain't got that gentle spirit in you yet. You ain't possessing I don't see the fruits of the spirit in you. Guess what I'm seeing? Misery. What does the scripture say about the misery? It say that the misery love the company. And then you wondering why you done forgave these people and you done accepted and you done let these people back into your life. And then you wonder why a year later you back miserable. That's just like most men. Now, I'm going to shoot it straight with you. That's just like most men when they lose a good woman. What they do? They start doing every single thing that that woman told them to do. Then all of a sudden they got more time. All of a sudden they off the game. All of a sudden they want to go out to eat. All of a sudden, they talking nice. They back complimenting you. They back doing all the things that they did in the beginning to get you. And then guess what? When they get back in that comfortable space, it fall off. It's crazy, ain't it? A lot of us do the king the same way. I done it. I'm guilty of it. Forgive me. I done did it. I'm guilty of it. It's just like them people he healed. It was only one came back and remember and told him, you know what I'm saying, he was grateful for what he done. It's been a lot of times where I got 1,000 books sitting in here right now. I have a bookshelf in remembrance. Keep me remembering. You see my YouTube thing? Cause I got to show some. That's my little YouTube play. My bookshelf. Hold on. Yeah. Let me show you something. This is my closet. I got books in here. I got books. I got books behind my couch. I don't know if you can see that box sitting up right there. I got books behind my couch. My YouTube flourished. My TikTok pages flourished. The people, listen, I got to get this up off of me, man. Real talk, I got to get this up off of me. Because we get to sleeping on him. I have. I done watched all of this stuff happen in my life. I done watched all of these people. So I done watched so many people support me. So many people took the time to message me. Kids that I done talked to. The money is good. But it ain't nothing like the feeling of knowing your purpose and calling in this world, homie. My website is jtb3.org. Listen, it ain't no better feeling than knowing who you are and who you belong to. Like, listen, I've been in and out of trouble my whole life. If you ain't familiar with my story, I've been in and out of trouble my entire life, homie. It's like I'm having an out of body experience. Like, this is me. My car is mine. This is mine. It's like I'm having an out of body experience. And it's sad because at times I forget. At times I gotta remind myself of how much he done. How many times he done saved me, snatched me out of situations. How many times he done let me come back right where I left off at. Do you know how hard it is to, especially when you fall off and then you try to get back to that place? I could tell you so many times, like, I deserved it to be took away. All of it. Platform, everything. And he let me come right back in my rightful place. And weeks and months will go by. And I'll forget. Like, he did that. You could have got locked up again. You could have caught something. You could have blew it all. You could have lost the rapport that you have. And then I forget it. And then I have to come back to this place right here and realize, do you not see? I'm in debt to the King. And I say that, listen, when I say that, I can't speak for nobody. I say it with everything in my body. He said, love the Lord with your heart, with all your heart, mind, and strength. I say it with everything in me. I'm in debt to the King, man. Them cuts right there. That time, guess what? I was just talking to my cousin. We were talking about, he said, cuz, when you come home, he said, cuz, when you came home, you weren't institutionalized. He said, you ain't missed a beat. Do you know what that means? I did 10 years, routine every single day. My cousin said, when you came home, it seemed like you had been free forever. That's a blessing. I was taking 23 psychotropic meds and still got my mind. I sit in the room with people. If I don't tell them I've been to prison, listen to me. I can sit in the room with people, and just by the time I open my mouth and I start speaking, he said, listen to me. He said, a better name is better than choice gold and silver. So I can sit in the room. By the time I get to talking, it don't matter what I got on. When you got this, when you got the spirit in you, when you start talking, people know. There's something about that one. It's the favor, man. Real talk. And I've been, it's too many of us who been doing what they did to the King when they crucified him. It's a lot of us who don't realize that we have taken the position of the people who spit on the King, kicked the King, smacked the King, put him on the cross. We crucify him all over again. Real talk. It's a spit in the face. It's a spit in the face to get up and move around like you ain't, like we're not blessed. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be alive and living, like a lot of people say, I'm blessed to have just wake up in the morning. You was blessed to sleep through the night before you woke up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just so much I can say. It's so much I want to say. You know what I'm saying? It really is, like, it's so much I want to say. I know I can't say it all tonight, but I really just, I hope everything that I done said, like, you realize that you probably way more blessed than you realize. Cause I am. Real talk. Way more blessed than I realize. For real. And that's it. Like, it's whatever the Spirit had me is done. I'm out of words. That's it. It's a blessing. If you ain't got me on YouTube, if you ain't already following me, hit that follow button. If you ain't on my YouTube, go to my YouTube, Joe Baker. For the people who's asking for my book and my website, the link on my bio, jtb3.org. I got both of my books. I got my new books, both of my books on sale. jtb3.org. You can get both books.